There are women in this world who wake up every morning with a heavy heart but still choose to show up. Women who cry in silence, wipe their own tears, steady their own breathing, and whisper to themselves, just hold on a little longer. This message is for every woman who is hurting but still holding on, still trying, still giving, still believing in something better, even when life keeps testing her strength. You carry more than anyone knows. You fought battles that nobody saw. Sometimes you feel invisible, misunderstood, or emotionally exhausted in a way that you cannot even explain. But here's the truth. The fact that you're still standing means you're stronger than you realize. So let me speak to you with honesty, clarity, and the compassion of someone who understands what it means to struggle and still rise. You deserve healing, peace, freedom, and a future that doesn't demand you to suffer just to survive. There are 3 truths you need to remember. The first truth is that your pain does not define you. Too many women think that the wounds they've carried mean they're broken. But pain doesn't equal weakness. It's a sign that your heart has been opened, that you've loved deeply, trusted deeply, cared deeply. The hurt you feel today is not the ending of your story. It's the shaping of your character. Just like a doctor tells you that pain signals your body is responding and healing, emotional pain signals growth. You're not damaged, you're transforming. Every tear you've cried has watered the ground where a stronger version of you is beginning to rise. You are allowed to feel everything you feel, but you are not required to stay in that place forever. You deserve to heal, and your healing starts the moment you stop blaming yourself for the things that were never your fault. The second truth is that holding on does not make you weak. It makes you powerful. Some people quit when life gets heavy, but we didn't. You held on, even when everything in you wanted to let go. That kind of resilience can't be taught. It's built through experience, through storms, through nights when your heart burned with questions and your soul begged for rest. A strong woman isn't the one who hides her pain. She's the one who feels it fully and keeps moving anyway. You're allowed to rest. You're allowed to pause. You're allowed to take breaks. But don't confuse resting with quitting. Your story is still unfolding. Your future needs you. The world needs the version of you that will rise from all of this with wisdom, purpose, and a deeper understanding of her own worth. The third truth is that your comeback is already in motion, even if you can't see it yet. Healing isn't loud. Growth doesn't always feel good. Sometimes the universe rebuilds your life in silence, removing people who drain you, redirecting you from places that were harming you, closing doors that were never meant for you. Just because everything feels uncertain right now doesn't mean you're losing. It means you're being rerouted. You are stepping into a chapter that requires a stronger mindset, a deeper love for yourself, and a courage you never had to use before. And you have everything you need inside you. You've already proven you can survive. Now you get to learn how to live fully, freely, fearlessly. So to every woman who's hurting but still holding on, you are not alone. Your strength is seen. Your heart is understood. Your effort matters. Keep going, not because you're used to being strong, but because you deserve the version of life that's patiently waiting for you on the other side of this chapter. Your pain will not be wasted. Your healing will rewrite everything. And one day you'll look back and realize these moments didn't break you, they built you. And when that day comes, your story will be the light another woman needs to keep holding on. There comes a moment in every woman's life when she starts to believe that her pain says something about her worth, her strength, or her identity. It happens quietly in the middle of heartbreak, disappointment, betrayal, or emotional exhaustion. You begin to think, maybe I'm too sensitive. Maybe I'm not enough. Maybe this is who I am now. But let me tell you with absolute clarity, your pain is not your identity. Your pain is an experience, not a definition. It is a chapter, not your whole story. Think about how a doctor sees pain. When you walk into a clinic and say, this hurts, the doctor doesn't call you weak. They don't tell you it's your fault. They don't say you're broken. Instead, they do something powerful. They validate it. They examine it. They try to understand where it came from so they can help you heal. Pain is a signal, not a sentence. Emotional wounds work the same way. They tell you something hurt you, something crossed your boundaries, something shook your spirit, but they never tell you who you are. The problem is that many women internalize their hurt so deeply, they start believing that the struggle is a reflection of their character instead of a reflection of their circumstances. You've been through things that would have crushed a weaker person. Some of your wounds came from trusting the wrong people. Some came from loving too deeply. Some came from giving chances when your heart already knew the situation was draining you, and some pain came from silence. The things you never said, the feelings you swallowed, the battles you fought without anyone knowing. But here it is. Pain that goes unspoken still counts. Just because nobody saw it doesn't mean it wasn't real. Just because you endured it quietly doesn't mean it didn't change you. But change is not the same as damage. The world often tricks women into thinking they need to hide their scars. But scars are proof of healing, not proof of brokenness. They show where you overcame something that tried to take you down. They are evidence of survival. And yet many women look at their emotional scars and see failure instead of strength. They see shame instead of wisdom. They see endings instead of beginnings. That's because hurt has a way of whispering lies to the heart, convincing you that the worst moments define your destiny. But pain as a teacher introduces you to your own resilience. It shows you the difference between who you were and who you are becoming. It sharpens your vision. Suddenly you see people differently. You love differently. You protect yourself differently. Pain has a purpose. It wakes you up to who you really are. Not the version the world shaped, not the version that others use or underestimated, but the version who discovers her words through the fire. You are not what happened to you. You are not the mistakes you made when you were tired, confused, or desperate for love. You are not the heartbreak that tried to break you down. You are not the disappointments that made you question your value. You are not the moments when you felt small, unseen, or unimportant. Your pain only reveals that you have a heart capable of feeling, loving, connecting, trusting.
That heart is not weak, it is human.
And it is powerful. Think of it this way. Gold is only refined by fire. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Muscles only grow when they're challenged. And a woman becomes stronger when life pushes her to the edge, but she refuses to let go of the part of her that still wants to love, still wants to hope, still wants to rise. Your pain is shaping you, not shrinking you. It is carving out space for a wiser, calmer, more grounded version of yourself. It is teaching you boundaries, clarity, and emotional strength. One day, you will look back at everything you survived and realize that your pain didn't define you. It refined you. It didn't destroy you. It deepened you. It didn't weaken you. It awakened you. And when that realization hits, you will finally understand that every tear you cried was watering the roots of the woman you were always meant to become. There's a moment in every woman's life when she questions her own strength, when she sits alone, tired from carrying responsibilities, relationships, expectations, and emotions that nobody else sees, and she wonders, why am I still holding on? Why can't I just let go like everybody else? But what you don't realize is this. The very fact that you are still holding on is one of the greatest signs of power a human soul can show. People often mistake endurance for weakness. They think that when you stay, when you continue trying, when you refuse to give up, it means you don't know your worth. But the truth is the opposite. Holding on does not mean you are lost. It means you are loyal. It means your heart still knows what it wants, what it deserves, and what it is capable of building. It means you believe in the possibility of better days, even when your circumstances don't show it yet. Think about how a doctor looks at a patient who refuses to give up. They don't call them weak. They call them strong, committed, resilient. They know that the fight inside the patient's mind is more powerful than anything happening in the body. And that's you. Every day you choose to show up, even when your heart feels bruised. Every time you take one more step, even when your spirit feels heavy, that's not weakness. That's emotional stamina. That's spiritual endurance. That's courage. There are women who have carried heartbreak so deep, it felt like their chest could split open. Women who smiled through disappointment, showed up at work after crying in the bathroom, held families together while falling apart internally, kept relationships alive even when they were starving for affection themselves, and yet they kept trying. Not because they didn't know they deserved better, but because their heart wasn't ready to stop believing. That is strength that one teaches is built through life, through tears, through resilience. Holding on teaches you things quitting never will. It teaches you patience, the kind that builds character. It teaches you compassion because you understand what it feels like to fight alone. It teaches you boundaries because eventually you learn the difference between holding on with hope and holding on with self-harm. And most importantly, it teaches you how powerful your spirit really is. You're not weak for wanting things to work. You're not soft for caring deeply. You're not foolish for trying again. What makes you powerful is that you've continued to believe in something even after life disappointed you. You've held on to dreams even after people tried to steal them. You've held on to your values when the world pressured you to abandon them. You've held on to love even after your heart was broken. That takes far more strength than shutting down and walking away. But holding on does not mean exhausting yourself. There is a difference between holding on to hope and holding on to pain. There is strength in both endurance and release. What matters is your intention. Are you holding on because you still believe it can grow? Or are you holding on because you're afraid to start again? Only you can answer that. But what you must never do is shame yourself for trying. You fought because you cared because you loved because your heart is alive, and a living heart is not a weak one. There will come a time when you look back at what you stayed through and realize it built a version of you that cannot be broken the same way again. Every moment you didn't quit multiplied your strength. Every tear you wiped gave you emotional power. Every night you stayed up thinking, praying, hoping, healing. All of it was shaping you into someone unshakable. So if you're still holding on right now, understand this. You're not delaying your freedom. You're developing your strength. You're gathering wisdom. You're learning what your soul needs. And when the time comes, whether you choose to stay or choose to walk away, you will make that decision not from fear but from power. And that kind of woman cannot be stopped. There is a quiet moment in every woman's life where she feels stuck between who she used to be and who she is becoming. It's a strange kind of in-between space, not broken but not healed yet. Not the past, but not fully the future. It feels like everything is falling apart, like doors are closing, like the universe is removing people, situations, and comforts all at once. And in that confusion, you start wondering, is this the end of me? Am I losing everything? But what you don't realize is that this is the beginning of your comeback. It's just happening silently. Healing does not announce itself. Transformation does not come with warning signs. Growth doesn't shout, it whispers. The universe rebuilds your life the same way a surgeon repairs a wound. Carefully, precisely, quietly. When a doctor works to heal a patient, the process is often invisible to the human eye. Cells renew in silence. Tissues repair in silence. Strength returns in silence. And in your life, the same thing is happening. Just because you can't see the progress doesn't mean the progress isn't real. Every struggle you've been facing lately is not a punishment, it's preparation. Every person who walked away was meant to leave. Every rejection was meant to redirect you. Every delay was meant to protect you from something you didn't know about. You think things are falling apart, but they are actually falling into alignment. What looks like loss is often the clearing needed for better things to enter. A comeback is not built in a moment of motivation. It's built in the quiet moments when you keep going, even though nobody notices your effort. It's built when you wake up after crying the night before, still choose to show up. It's built when you choose healing over bitterness, peace over chaos, growth over comfort. Your comeback begins the moment you fire. Decide that the chapter you are living through right now is not your final chapter. You may not feel strong right now, but strength doesn't always feel like fire. Sometimes strength feels like trembling hands that still reach forward. Sometimes it feels like a heart that still beats even when it's tired. Sometimes it feels like taking one small step when everything in you wanted to stop. Sometimes the greatest comebacks are born in seasons where you feel the most uncertain. Think about a seed planted in the soil. To the outside world, it seems like nothing is happening. But underground, something powerful is taking place. The shell is cracking. Roots are forming. Life is being created. Growth that nobody can see is already underway. That's you. You are in a season where things appear still, but everything necessary for your breakthrough is developing beneath the surface. And what's coming is not small. You're not being prepared for a minor change. You're being prepared for a transformation. You're being aligned with better relationships, deeper self-love, healthier environments, and opportunities that fit the woman you're becoming, not the woman you used to be. The situations that drained you are being removed. The people who didn't value you are being replaced. The spaces that made you shrink are being exchanged for spaces that help you expand. One day, you'll wake up and realize the heaviness has lifted. Your heart will feel light again. Your mind will feel clear again. Your confidence will return, stronger than before. The same things that once triggered your pain will no longer have power over you. The wounds that once hurt you will become wisdom that guides you. The situations that once broke you will become stories you use to inspire someone else. And when your comeback arrives, and where you will understand why nothing worked before, why certain people couldn't stay, why certain doors had to close, why certain chapters ended abruptly, you'll see that everything that felt like a setback was actually a setup. Everything that felt like loss was actually making space. Everything that made you cry was actually strengthening your spirit. Your comeback isn't waiting somewhere far away. It's already in motion. It's in your resilience. It's in your patience. It's in your healing. It's in your refusal to give up. And when the moment is right, your life will shift so beautifully that you'll understand one powerful truth. Every second you spent holding on was leading you to something greater than anything you've lost. And that future, the one you can't see yet, is worth every step of this journey. And so to every woman listening, every woman surviving a storm of silence, every woman carrying pain behind her strength, this is your reminder that you are not done. You are not defeated. You are not defined by the moments that broke you or the people who overlooked you. You are defined by the courage it takes to wake up each day and keep going even when your heart feels heavy. You are defined by the fire that refuses to die inside you, no matter how many times life tried to dim your light. You deserve a life that feels peaceful. You deserve love that doesn't wound you. You deserve a future that doesn't cost your sanity, your self-worth, or your identity. And that future is coming faster than you think, stronger than you imagine, and more beautiful than the pain you survived. One day you will stand in a place where the hurt no longer controls you. You'll look back at the girl who cried, who questioned, who doubted, who felt alone, and you will honor her because she kept going. She believed. She held on. She built the path you're now walking. So lift your head, take a deep breath. Walk into your next chapter with a heart that knows its value, with a spirit that remembers its strength, and with a mind that refuses to settle for anything less than what you deserve. Your story is not over. Your healing is not finished. Your light is not gone. You are rising slowly, quietly, powerfully. And the world has no idea what kind of woman is about to emerge from everything you survive.